What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out Hozier's Unreal Unearth album. I am super excited to dive into this. I was told that it has a little bit, or a lot actually, of a theme of Dante's Inferno. That was required high school reading for me, so do with that information what you will. So basically, I'm not super knowledgeable on the subject, but I am excited to listen to everything that Hozier has to offer in this album because I love his voice so much. His guitar-driven tracks have so much emotion. I feel like we're going to really enjoy this. Before we get into today's video, I just want to plug my Patreon. If you are watching this right now, I have the full album listening party where we don't cut anything out. It's a much more like intimate kind of video. We just jam the album together. I have this album as a full album listening party over on Patreon, as well as all of the other Hozier albums. So if you guys want to check those things out and support the page, it means the world to me. And honestly, it's the only reason I'm able to do this YouTube stuff. So I am very thankful for it. The link's in the description. All those things out of the way, I'm super excited to finally dive in and listen to Unreal Unearth. So we are starting with Selby Part 1. Damn.
When all of the world is asleep, couldn't bear and sit unseen.
There's like so much going on in like the background of this track too, right? So that guitar is already super heavy, but I just hear like all of this kind of, I don't know if it's just atmosphere kind of coming in, some ambience from life, but super cool to like, I don't know, just feel like the song just comes to life as you're listening to it.
But still the mind rejecting this new empty space.
There is such an interesting thing going on because I was just going to comment on how I feel like there's parts of that like it's like playing in reverse in some parts, so it feels kind of like unnerving, but then at the same time there's this sort of, I don't know, kind of like bright spot in the instrumental right there, so it's kind of like there's this weird like polarizing feeling here. I don't know if that is a different language or if it is being spoken backwards. I can't quite tell, but that sounds fucking crazy. Also, my voice just sounded fucking crazy. Oh, I don't know why this all feels like it's in reverse. I have no idea. I don't. I'm seated though, because it's feeling evil as fuck. It's been polarizing throughout that whole thing, but that last part felt very evil. Let's let it go into part 2.
What you're giving, what you living.
Oh, I fucking love that bass. Oh my god. God damn, that's so groovy. God damn, let's go. Oh, you know what I really love about both of these tracks so far is even though the instrumentals are heavy or they have like definitely heavy vibes to them, especially this track, but that first one has more of that like polarizing feel. But I love that even though these instrumentals have a lot going on, there's also a lot of space, and Hozier is just so good when you give him a little bit of space. You throw some reverb on those vocals and I feel like he can just haunt an entire album. That subtle harmony under his voice. Oh, and that bass, let's go. Woo! Dude, y'all know those high ranges are everything. God damn. It's so cool. This song has this, like, it's got a 70s funk with like an 80s energy to it. So I can almost feel like, I don't know, it's almost like as if instrumentally The Weeknd was putting together a song from the 70s and then you have Hozier doing the vocals on it. Like, that's how this feels. I love that so much. Damn, all those drum fills are so fucking fun in this. Like, legit fun. I feel like they just bring that pacing up. I feel like this would be such a, I don't know if he performs this live, but this would be such a good song to see live from him. Definitely lost lyrically already, but I'm sure that we will be able to pick that up. I love all of that falsetto, that super high range Hozier's in a lot of this. I feel like it just takes up some of the best parts of this song. And I feel like that reverb just, I don't know, something about, again, his voice that can really haunt an entire album. I kind of like the idea that when he, like, any note that he hits, he's got this subtle layer of harmony under it, and there's this reverb on it, and it just, through a song like that, especially with all that bass, leaves a lot of room for him to just take over that high spot. All right, it's his first time.
Remember once I told you about how before I heard it from your mouth, my name would always hit my ears. The river, undiscovered, underground.
Wait, I kind of want to hear more like heavy bass spoken word shit from Hozier too. I feel like there's like so much, I don't know, kind of like coolness about that. Fuck yes.
The first time that you called me baby, I were left here by my mother. Ain't that like them gifting life to you again? This life lived mostly underground, unknowing neither sight nor sound, till reaching up for sunlight, just to be ripped out by the stem. Sensing only now.
Okay, so I feel like I pick up him saying something about his mom leaving him flowers, and then how, like, isn't it interesting that your mother gives you life and now she's giving you the gift of life again, because obviously flowers were plant grown. Okay. It's always so hard with Hozier's music to like fully be able to understand it. I get, like, if I'm honest, I get super self-critical when I do music of artists that I feel like I really got to break down the lyrics, because I sometimes feel so dumb when I'm doing it. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So it's almost like that right there is just kind of commentary on the cycle of life, and how we all, you know, your mother gives you gifts, and this flower is the gift of life as well, and we are all kind of like living in this gift of life, but it's kind of this forever suffering that we're all kind of like walking towards, but there's this beauty in it at the same time. He has such an angelic voice. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, now I get it. Maybe I should just start trying to listen to the whole song before I give an analysis on the lyrics. I think maybe I just learned something here, because now I kind of understand what's going on. It's obviously the loss. I'm going to assume it's the loss of somebody very close to him. The only reason I bring up the mother is because obviously he speaks about his mother here. But if that is the case, then the way that I see this song is kind of just, it's the commentary on what it's like to lose the most important thing in the world to you, but then at the same time to be able to find something maybe beautiful in that, or at least something positive from it. So losing, you know, perhaps his mother, at least that's what it kind of sounds like. Losing his mother, I feel, is got to be like, that's the worst thing that could happen to you. Light gone. What could you possibly, like he said, I felt like that was the last day that I had life. That was the last time I was alive, because you took the lifeblood from me when you were gone. When you called me baby that last time, that was it. But then I also feel like the positive side to it, it's almost the other part where it's like, you kind of gave me life that day too, because it's almost like you, even though you were gone, I know that you just planted within me kind of like more life, but at the same time, you have maybe even given me a reason to live, because you were so like, you gave me life. I feel like now that you're gone, I should honor that by living that life. Maybe I'm diving too far into that, or maybe I'm so far off, but that's definitely the vibe I'm getting from this. And I also just love his like passion as he delivers this. Again, he's so good at going into those like breathy emotional vocals, and that soul just comes to life in such beautiful ways in the body of his voice. So at that last part, well, even just with the spoken word in the beginning, but even in that last part, just kind of like really like resolving everything in the vocal. It's just so fucking cool. All right, Francesca. I feel like there's a lot of ways I could have said that just now. Francesca.
Now that it's done, there's not one thing that I would change.
This is so sick. I was not expecting this to pop out in this song. Oh, fuck. Dude, I need to see this performed live, because I feel like that chorus would go so hard.
When that party was
So hard.
a grip taking hold, I tell them put me back in it.
God damn. I can just picture his hair flying back singing this, being fucking 20 feet tall. Dude. The vocals are so cool here. And again, I just love that he just stays true to his accent right here. Fuck yeah, dude. All that feedback and distortion, let's go. Why is this so heavy? Oh my God. There's so much. Why is that so fucking epic? Like, that is honestly like such an epic fucking moment right there. That felt like the biggest, most dramatic, theatrical fucking world of like whatever we were just fucking living in. I felt like I was sitting in a coliseum, just overwhelmed by religious imagery, while Hozier's vocals play through an echo in every single bone in my body. That was fucking incredible at the end. I just love that right before we got this incredible vocal moment, it was just this feedback guitar that was just fucking like, I don't know. It just really brought the mood and elevated kind of like what we were about to feel. I fucking love that so much. That's another one that I feel like I need to see a lot. I'm kind of seeing that like once we finish the albums, and I know he's got a new EP coming out too, so we'll be doing that. I feel like we're going to have to start doing like full concert reactions for especially like Hozier, because we're going to have all this music. I'm going to listen to it all. Now I'm going to want to see it perform live. All right, this is I Carrion, or a Carrion. A Carrion. Oh God, I don't know.
A line of weightless, one deep breath out from the sky. I've reached a rarer height now that I can't confirm. All our weight is just a burden offered to us by the world.
Maybe it's just that I'm 9% Irish, or Scottish, 9% somewhere over there. I am drawn to his accent so much. I just feel like it feels very comfortable. I feel like it makes me feel like I'm at home. And I also really appreciate it when it comes from somebody just with a vocal delivery like this, because there's like a level of authenticity. I don't know what it is about it. It just feels it just feels like you're really like listening to that person. Like I'm sitting here with that person. I don't know. Something about just like that. Just be true, you know? It's true to you.
That falls away from me. You have me floating like a feather. If you need to, darling, lean your weight to me.
When his voice has this reverb and delay on it, listen to it right here. It's so fucking pretty.
If we fall, I only pray.
Oh,
Don't fall away from me.
oh my God.
If I should fall on that day, I only pray. Don't fall away from me.
Like, how do you even do that? Like, how can you sit down in a studio writing a song and manage to come up with an idea to even like put a song together? I feel like that's hard enough, right? But like, how can you possibly bring someone on an emotional journey? Here's the thing. I don't even know what's going on lyrically. Like, I'm gonna be so real. I'm trying so hard. I don't even know what's going on lyrically, but you're making me feel stuff, even though I don't know what's going on with the song. And that's what I love about music, is that sometimes it goes further than just the meaning of the lyrics. I've said this so many times, but I feel like so many things you can feel from an instrumental when it drops in, when you feel, you know, that bass note when you see a band live, or when you're walking past and you hear this guitar riff and suddenly you get like goosebumps. Like, that is what I love so much about music. And so what I love is that in this last section, anytime he introduces that string section, it really just brings this theatric kind of feel to it. It brings this very big, like atmospheric kind of feel. I hate using that same word over again, but like he really does do that in his music. And I feel like it always makes me feel, again, like I'm sitting in a coliseum or like in an old abandoned church. Maybe it's because I've seen him do live videos in those types of spots before, but it always just kind of like makes me feel like I'm sitting right there watching it. Such a gold kind of feeling, like a warm sound here.
Let me put my lips to something.
Woo!
Race you to the table. If you hesitate, the getting is gone. I won't lie. If there's something to be gained, there's money to be made.
I'm such a fan of this like warm like soul kind of sound here, that so like kind of that like 70s vintage kind of sound that's going on throughout this whole song, including over Hozier's vocals. But what I really love is he leans into that a ton. I love the range that he's singing in so much here. Oh, fuck, that is so sick. Hold on. The timing on this is so weird, but I also want to point out, dude, if I could sing, I think this is how I would want to sound. Like, if I could pick a voice, because I think there's something about being able to like go into that like breathy falsetto in a high range that would just be so fucking cool. Anyways, the timing on this is sick for the guitar to come in. I wonder if he recorded it and then sampled his voice on that. All those drum fills, I will never get tired of those in this record. Dude, I'm telling you, he can sing in this range. Even if that was all he did, I'd be so happy. Oh my God, now he's just fucking with me. I'm calling it. Like, let's just say maybe like 15 years from now, I bet that we're gonna hear somebody sample this in hip hop. If sampling is still super popular 15 years from now, I bet this song is being sampled. It's just too good not to. Had to have the dramatics, right? It's the strings again. Fucking love it, dude. He's consistent. He keeps them themes going. Another thing too that I remember about Hozier's music that is also like one of the things I really enjoy about it is the fact that these songs are much longer than like a typical. I feel like these days most tracks are like 3 minutes and that's it. Like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 3 minutes. But what I love is that these tracks all average about 4 minutes, pretty close. But I feel like there's like at least 45 seconds to a minute of each of these tracks that really utilize some time to allow these instrumentals to like let these songs kind of like become their own map, like become their own levels, become their own world. And I appreciate that because I feel like when you can intro in and really let a song fade out, I feel like you bring someone on a journey. Like I'm really big into like feeling like I'm experiencing the songs, especially like, you know, with someone like Hozier, where I feel like even if you don't understand the lyricism or on your first listen, you're not quite, you know, like me being able to quite understand what we're talking about and everything. I appreciate that I can still like really feel the emotion that is being brought in when you kind of allow these songs to just fucking live and breathe and exist. All right, this is Damage Gets Done featuring Brandi Carlisle. That synth is so dirty. Oh. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm feeling like a 50s and 60s kind of vibe in the vocals here. I also really love that though they sing in similar ranges, because their vocals have a pretty unique sound to them each, I love how they sound layered on top of each other. Woo! Come on. One more time. I feel like they go so hard on the vocals right there. Woo! What the fuck? Okay, hold on. You got the heavy bass, you have the synthesizer, and then you have this glitchy shit going on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, that was the vocal that had that. Such a fucking mood right there. Such a fucking like 80s meets 90s upbeat like kind of pop moment that's happening in this track. By the way, I feel like we're just hitting so many generations at once, but I just love the power of Brandi and Hozier's vocals throughout this entire thing, because I feel like there's so many moments where they're just like giving it 1000%. And I love what that sounds like when they harmonize with each other. You got two people with awesome vocals that are like, there's like a similarity there, but it's different enough. And they both have such a unique style that it makes such a cool sound when they harmonize. I love that. I also think lyrically, I think I heard, it's not being like something about like not being young and dumb, that is how the damage gets done. And it seems to me like, at least, I'm guessing here because I definitely do not know all the lyrics to this, but it kind of seems to me like it's not just the things that we go, it's the things that we go through, and like the trials and tribulations of growing up aren't the things that cause the most pain. I don't know if they're referring to, possibly like losing a loved one or someone close to you, but I feel like that to me shows like where generational trauma can come into, and how like just being young and dumb and trying things out and living your life and having heartbreak and all that stuff, that's not the thing that really causes what ends up being what can be called like generational trauma. Or it can be the thing that kind of breaks you, like losing someone close to you. For example, when I felt like he was speaking about his mom earlier, that would be the thing that would take the light away from you. I'm probably digging. I'm probably digging way the wrong way. Okay, this is Who We Are.
Idly, it slips through your fingers, love falling from you, drop by drop.
Okay, I feel like just based on that piano note that's going on here, I feel like this is gonna get a little bit. There's gonna be a little bit of, maybe not necessarily like evil, but things are gonna be a little bit amiss. I can just tell. There's that one note where you're like, that's on purpose.
Might come in time to hold me like water, or cranes hold me like a knife.
Oh God, these are my favorite moments. I fucking love when he just like busts out of nowhere with these like big like renditions of his tracks. Like I just love whenever he kind of like, has a build up the way he does, and then just lets it be epic. Like lets all the instruments fucking ring out. Like let everything reverb, let everything echo, let me speak to the world. Like that's how I feel when Hozier fucking sings. Like so fucking sick to me that you can like demand people's attention that way. That's incredible. That's power. That is power right there. Steven cried power.
Much less than what it seemed. Darling, we sacrificed. We gave our time to something undefined. This phantom.
We gave our life to something undefined. I don't know if he's referring to either like maybe like love or a relationship, or maybe even like something spiritual, like maybe undefined, like maybe a love of God. Woo! If I was a religious man, I'd go to the Church of Hozier right now. I wish I could do that. Fuck. So a couple of things I picked up on the lyrics. He said something about, being born at night and how we're kind of like fighting our way through the dark. And it kind of felt, because then he also said, we're giving up our entire lives for something that's undefined. And so it kind of makes me feel like there's this religious piece to it, just knowing that Hozier often likes to use religious imagery in his music. I feel like this is sort of the idea that, we're born into a world of dark with no knowledge of why we're here or why we got here. And we spend what life we do have fumbling through the dark, trying to gain any knowledge to understand why we're here or what we're doing here. And at the end of the day, we don't know if by the end of it, if there's going to be any of these things that we may have, put together. So he even says like, by the end, it spills out drop by drop. And I feel like that is like lifeblood. I feel like this is the lifeblood of us. And this is what we're doing, is we're following this unspoken thing. Now, I'm probably wrong about that, but I do want to say that because I do feel like, again, he uses the religious imagery a lot. The vocals in this, like I said before, I'm not a religious man, But I guarantee you that you could find me in the Church of Hozier because, again, back to me sitting in a fucking Coliseum listening to this just echo off the walls. Can you imagine the amount of natural reverb that would happen? It could fucking crush my eardrums, and I think I'd be okay if it was the last thing I heard, as long as it was live. Okay, this is Son of Nyx. I love how like raw all the instruments sound in this too. No overly perfected shit, like letting it stay rough, rugged. The cracking sound of like the vinyl right now. Time out. They definitely, it was either in a phaser, but that was a vocal. So it started out like just a super high, like super cool sounding thing, and then went straight up into a vocal. That's cool. I love good production. I talk too much, but I love good production. Fucking strings, organ, you name it. Hozier bringing the fucking like emotional roller coaster. Just with these symphonic moments. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, it doesn't take that much to get me stoked. I just love music. But like, just a little production moment like that makes me nerd out. I don't know why. I just blame having a very neurodivergent mind, I guess. But just that little reverse moment there, don't know why, brings me so much joy. Kind of felt like a beat was gonna drop there. I'm gonna guess it's gonna drop in All Things End. I feel like this is supposed to be a bridge into another song because they got a little Who We Are in there.
A 2-ton weight around my chest feels like it just dropped a 20-story height. Didn't do it right.
If there's anyone that's able to get through this night with their heart intact, they didn't do it right.
Taking more from everything and all things in.
Hey!
All that we intend when we begin again.
Oh, I love that because he's essentially like using this metaphor, not even a metaphor. Life is going to end. We will cease to exist at one point. But knowing that sometimes can help you maybe either be more confident in going into a situation, or it can at least remind you that the sand of time is slipping beneath your fingers. And even if you have to start over in maybe even a relationship, if you had to start over with somebody, you just have to recognize that all things, including life, are going to end. So if that relationship that ended before, it might end again. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe it's the first time you're in love. You just got to recognize that maybe that love will end, because if it doesn't end by heartbreak, it'll end by death. The point is, there is a finality. Yes, there's a finality to the finite time that we have.
When people say that something is forever, either way it ends.
Oh, wait, hold on. That bass that just filled leading up to that.
Is forever, either way it ends. And all things end.
Fuck.
All that
I even like what he says there. All things we intend are, it's stolen sand that slips right through our hand. Because it's just like, you know, whatever your intentions are, whatever your hopes and dreams or all these things are, it could just, if you want to look at it from this way, it could just be wasted time that you could have, you know, spent with something else because you have such a finite time. Fuck yeah, you did. Whole fucking choir, let's go. Oh, dude. there's like a life lesson to be made right there by the end of that whole situation. So let me just start by saying that gospel choir at the end was everything. Like I told you, I want to sit in that cathedral. I want to sit in a church. I want to hear all this happening. And yes, that is exactly the vibe that I just got from this. But I love the life lesson here, which is that knowing that all things will end should not deter us when we start again. Like it shouldn't stop. Okay. When you're born, at some point you're going to come to terms with the reality that your life will end. You will die. You'll finally become aware of it. It's a very weird transition, but it happens. Just because you know that that's going to happen, that doesn't mean you can't just like not live. You can't just not live your life. You can't just not do things. You know you're going to die. Well, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat some pizza. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean that you shouldn't fucking fall in love or go on a trip. I mean, you're going to die anyways, but like, it's probably going to be a long time and it's probably not going to be today. So like, it's kind of hard to not embrace those things, but it's hard once you know that there's, it's going to end. But I think that that can be a very motivating factor for why you want to live your life. But I love how big the sound of this song is at the end, because I think it really drills that message home. And even if there's a much bigger meaning to the song that Hozier is speaking about, I'm picking up that meaning right away, and it means a lot to me. So I appreciated that a lot at the end there. All right, to someone from a warm climate. I'm not even going to try to say whatever it is that the rest of that word is. That is not a word. What? Okay.
Feel of coldness only water brings. There are some things that no one teaches you, Lord. They come natural as a dream. You didn't know that you were in.
His voice over a piano like this, I feel like is just so powerful. I mean, it's obviously powerful. We hear it, but there's something about every note, every keystroke, every just I don't know. There's some of this like pounding fucking realness and heaviness that is Hozier. There's just so present on every track. But when you give a piano ballad like this, I feel like you really feel it.
Hey, darling, it's natural as another leg around you in the bed frame. In summer's heat I learned to dread the coming of the night. The awful things we do to make the head go quiet.
I just like, I can't get over this. I like really, if I had to pick who I could sound like, if I could sing, it would absolutely be Hozier, because these vocal moments like this, where I just feel like you would have so much power. Like you could sing and like really like move the world as Hozier does with notes like this.
The coming of the night, the awful things we do to make the head go quiet.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
You press your body to the concrete when you were smart. Just programs in, but darling,
Woo!
dreaming is only.
Where did that note go? One more time. Oh my God.
But darling, my dreaming is on. I wish I could see the cold lake of water of my heart. Crest is
Oh, yeah.
boiling over. But it happened easy, darling. Natural as another leg around you in the bed frame.
Definitely feel kind of not that smart when I listen to Hozier sometimes, because I feel like his lyricism is so like high IQ level. And he's very poetic with his words. And because of that, I feel like there are always like multiple kind of metaphors going on. It becomes very difficult. And I'm sure that it's just me over analyzing it in my head, and then I just confuse myself. So I definitely have no idea what he was trying to refer to here. Kind of what I was seeing is this idea of maybe this love with somebody and likening this idea of being in bed with them, and this coolness that you only feel from the water could actually just be this coolness that I bring to you. And, you know, I wrap around your legs and you find this comfort. I don't know. There's some, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's sometimes I feel like he makes me get tongue twisted because it's the only times when I feel like I truly do not know what I'm talking about when it comes to his lyrics. But I love the ballad style from him. You guys know he is somebody that can truly, like, again, even if you don't know what the song's about, I fucking hung on to every word in that because it was just so beautiful, and he's so good at doing that. I love the instrumentation in this too, because again, with it being that ballad style, letting those piano keys truly drive this song is everything to me. I feel like it's just like word after word, you're going to hit every vocal and it's going to make you feel everything. And I love that he plays into that so hard in this. All right, this next track is Butchered Tongue.
As a child, it was the place names. Singing at me is the first thing. Fuck. How the mouth must be employed in every corner of itself to say Apalachicola or Hushpikina like Guibara.
Whoa, wait. I don't know. What language is that? I don't know what language that is, but I definitely do not know it.
I'm blessed to pass so many roads.
Strings again.
And have my foreign ear made fresh again. On each unlikely sound, but feel it all.
Make my foreign ear. Wait, let me hear that one more time.
On each unlikely sound, but feel it home here in the music. Foreign ear made fresh again. On each unlikely sound.
Make my foreign ear feel fresh again with each unlikely sound.
Feel it home here in the music that few still understand. A butchered tongue still singing here above the ground.
So I don't know, like in terms of his, you know, layers of hell, I don't know what this would be referring to, but I like him saying like all of that, what's going on beneath the earth is kind of like all of that is left behind, we still feel here. So I feel like, you know, the words that are spoken, the music that we share, the life that we have, even though you're gone, even though you're further down, I still feel your presence everywhere here.
And what can still be known.
Fuck.
So far from home to have a stranger
Cinematic feeling.
call you darling.
Fuck. It's just so moody when he does this. Like he could hum himself into my heart. God, I'm telling you, all these string sections make these songs so big. I just love that there's like this symphony of Hozier throughout this whole thing. Woo! This is okay. Like this is such a cool range when he sings in this because it gives me this like a little bit of a bluegrass feel, a little bit of like a almost like a country kind of vibe, but then you still have that very like present Irish feel from him. It's so cool to hear all of that come out in just a range that he sings in. Woo! Nope, come on. That bass is like plucked heavy. It's so interesting to hear this kind of folksy sound, but then also feel like a lot of like an 80s and 90s sort of pop rock inspiration in the sound. Oh shit. It's amazing to me that he can do that. Like the spectrum that he can fucking hit vocally. So far, if he was a stampede, you wouldn't get kicked. If he was a riptide, he wouldn't pull you in.
If I had his job, you would live forever.
Wait, he touches you and you fly together. If I had his job, was it we would live forever? I don't know if he's talking about either death or if he's talking about God himself, but that's cool. I fucking, dude, do that forever. Man, I bet that sounds so cool live. Basically just need to hear the live version of this album, I think. So definitely, again, another one of those tracks where lyrically, I don't think I currently have the mental intelligence to be able to truly dissect Hozier's music. It makes it very hard sometimes because I wish I could do better at it. But I feel like what I'm getting from the lyrics here, it just kind of seems if you take the 12 circles of hell out of it, or however many circles, because we're not there. I feel like this also is just implying like, I don't want to be the bad in your life, like where you have all these other things that could eventually take your life or take your happiness or take your attention or take all these things. I want to find a way to do whatever I can to ensure that like you don't have to be taken away from anything. And maybe you're just here with me. I guess like in a way, there's like a selfishness to that, to like basically want everything to be gone except for this person. I guess there's a selfishness to it. But it just, to me, when he spoke about he touches you and you fly away with him forever, but it was up to me, you stay here, you live forever. Just kind of getting those vibes. All right, this is Abstract Psychopomp.
I will not be great.
Fuck yeah.
I'm grateful to get through. The feeling came late. I'm still glad I met you. The memory hurts.
Oh.
Does me no harm.
Oh, the drums are being played in reverse right now. It sounds so cool.
To keep us both warm, the poor thing in the road.
Oh. Fuck. Oh, that guitar? Honestly, like, I feel like I could make an entire mix of just these vocal melodies of Hozier, and it would be the most like incredible thing to just like lay in the middle of a room and just like watch a galaxy light where you just see stars everywhere, and you were just laying there listening to like this panning sound of him doing these crazy high runs. It sounds like so fucking angelic. Fuck. Let's go. That flows so nice. It's cool too, because you've got obviously like, you know, his emotional delivery, but you've got this almost like hip hop style drum that's kind of happening with it. And I love that it feels like there's like this marching kind of feel as the song just keeps building. Oh, and that bass right there. How can you have both a powerful and ambient voice at the same time?
I'm afraid we'll always be. See how it shines.
So just from what I'm picking up on the lyrics, taking away the circles of hell, if we're picking up on this point, I just feel too dumb to be able to talk about it. I feel like I don't get it. And that'll come more. Dude, when I listen to this album, like on my own, like more times, and I start learning the words and I'm singing it, this will all start making way more sense. But like, it's first reaction for me. Y'all know how I do this. But I feel like in this song, it's almost kind of like discussing maybe like just how small these pieces of our lives that we end up defining ourselves are, or like just how small we really are, it's almost like as if you were to zoom out and look, you see this kind of abstract view of your life and like maybe from a different perspective. But the further you zoom out, and this will trip you out sometimes, you can do this on Google Earth, like just type in your address and then like just start zooming out. And like while you're zooming out, think of the hundreds of thousands of millions of people that you've seen and that you'll never see, and all those people that exist, and you start seeing your world and you start realizing that maybe some of these problems that we deal with on a regular basis that we make out to be these massive things, they're not really that big of a deal. I remember being in college and hearing about, I say being in college, I did 2 years. I absolutely do not have a degree. Okay. But in college, I remember talking about, you know, the pale blue dot. I remember when we started talking about that because it's this tiny pale blue dot, but our entire world that we live in is that pale blue dot. And I just remember feeling, well, I had an existential crisis, you know, when you start learning that, but I feel like that's what this song's about. I know that there's obviously much deeper than that, but I feel like it's this idea of being able to look at your life from an outside point of view or from further away to truly see kind of what's going on around you. And I probably butchered that. All right. This is Unknown NTH. Fuck. We need to watch a Hozier studio session. I'd love to see what he's like in the studio.
You know the distance never made a difference to me. I swam a lake of fire, I'd have walked across the floor of any sea. Ignored the vastness, wasn't like an angel to me.
Fuck. Soulful Hozier.
It ain't the being alone.
Okay.
It ain't the empty home, baby. You know I'm good at my own. Baby, you know it's more than being unknown. So much of the living love is the being unknown.
Like, these are the tracks where I feel like you got to really watch out for Hozier, because there's something about somebody who can really strip back an instrumental. We talked about this, but like you really strip back an instrumental and like you're just full attack, full force right there in front of everybody. And Hozier has a voice that is so fucking powerful that it will split your heart in two when he just reaches those like almost like rock notes, and then he'll like throw it up another octave. It's fucking crazy. This is a dangerous instrumental for him.
I listen to it tick, every tedious beat, going unknown is any angel to me.
Oh, one more time. Come on.
What's left of it, I listen to it tick, every tedious beat, going unknown is any angel to me. Do you know I could write
What the fuck?
of the goodness, love I still carry for you? Yeah.
Oh my God.
It ain't the being alone. It ain't the empty home, baby. You know I'm good at my own.
Yeah, it's that. I don't know, like, you know, I don't know a lot about singing. Obviously, you guys know that. So I don't know what that is called when he does that, but I fucking love this sound right here.
It ain't the empty home, baby.
Right here.
You know I'm good at my own.
Oh, with that little vibrato. That distortion is just so fuzzy, man. It's like in that same way I love like that rock sound that people get, that gravelly kind of sound. I love that in a guitar. I love a good, fuzzy, distorted feel. This is a really great example of just something that Hozier's so good at, in the sense that he can take a song that's 4 minutes and 40 seconds. He makes sure that a lot of the song, again, it has like a build in and a way to let the song breathe on its own at the end. And I love that. It makes it a little difficult to react to music like that sometimes, because obviously, like, you know, it's a lot of vocal runs and stuff, but I feel like it's so much of a vibe. Like, I feel like you have to really just like let yourself get lost in the sauce and just kind of vibe to it, because you hear his voice in this most like monumental kind of way. And I don't know, you can feel the music, you feel that gritty guitar, his voice going through your ears. You know, music, even though you listen to it, it's auditory, you can absolutely feel it. And Hozier's a really great example of an artist that can make you feel it. I do talk about that on this channel a lot, because once I find artists that I like that do that, I will just keep like reacting to their music, because it's something I really like. I get emotional about music. I like artists to be emotional sometimes. All right, it's the last track, and it is called First Light. Sounds scary as fuck. Oh. Your eyes open at first, 1,000 miles away. Yes, I love that break. Just a little bit of a break in the instrumental. Let him take that vocal.
Just believe what I'm believing in. Could this be how every day begins?
Oh.
Sky sets it bright, the gold in the rest, the color
Oh.
filling my cup
Let's go.
before the first light.
Oh, dude. They got the gospel, the heavy ass drums, the strings, all of it. Fuck.
Creeps into the corners as the moment fades.
Let's do it.
A voice your body jumps to, calling out your name.
Woo.
But after this, I'm never gonna be the same. And I am never going back again.
Oh.
Skies
Okay, wait. So obviously, knowing that he's going through the circles of hell, I feel like this song is very much that moment when you arise from that nightmare that you just existed, in which you witnessed some of the, you know, worst things, because I do remember some of the story from high school, obviously. And I feel like it's almost that idea that you're being exposed to such evil in the world that maybe it can help you reevaluate the situation that you're in, or at least help you appreciate, or maybe move forward without following these things that could have you fall into the trap of ever having to be in that nightmare again. It's sometimes that moment when you kind of like see the truth. I saw it was, I don't think it was a meme, but I call it a meme anyways, but I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, and it was like, be grateful for like the mundane days. Like, there's days when you're at home just doing your chores and you think to yourself like, oh, I'm so bored. Like, I wish there was more. But then do you think about like the last worst day that you had, and all you think about is how nice it would be to go back to doing those mundane chores. The idea being that when you can, you know, take grace and gratefulness in what you have, it can help you like move forward in life. And I feel like with this, it's sort of the same thing, but it's like, here's all the things that your life can become, or what will become. So make sure to go live so you don't have this.
for the first light. Like I lived my whole life before the first light.
Oh my God. That crash.
Like I lived my whole life before the first light.
Dude, what the fuck is that song? Like, again, when I talk about like an artist that can just make music feel fucking cinematic, that is what I'm talking about right there. I am gonna start the end of this video by saying that I definitely fucking missed the lyrics on this. I feel like I don't typically react with lyrics in front of me because that's like not unless there's like a translation, it's just like it's not natural for me. Like, it would be weird for me to do that with everything because then I'm just going to be reading the whole time and not vibing, right? And so I definitely feel like when I listen to this on my own now, we're going to have to read the lyrics, or I'm going to have to watch a breakdown video of this album, because I feel like a lot of what I'm about to say is just going to be about like how I was feeling about the production, the sound, the vocals, kind of the overall feeling of this record, because I feel like there's so much to unpack when it comes to the lyrics that I just don't know that I'm able to do it. Like, I want to be able to do it, but he's the only artist. No, there's a couple. He's one of the only artists that when I listen to, I almost feel like nervous going into it because I'm afraid I'm not going to understand it. But that's the thing I love about music too, is it's not like this thing came with a disclaimer on the front that said it's only about this and do with that what you will. So I hope that some of my breakdowns in this are somewhat on point. Again, it would have helped to know the subject matter more, but I wasn't all that great in school. I got good grades, but it's because ADHD is a superpower. But I have to just say that I love how big this entire record sounds. From the very beginning, you know that you were stepping into what feels like a play. I feel like we are going through all of this together, and not only just from a lyrical standpoint. Obviously, there's a story to it, but I love that you can feel it sonically. There's something about the instrumentation as it grows through this. I feel like the sounds kind of change. I feel like we get implemented with more string sections. Further on, we're getting kind of like the gospel choir feel that's coming together, and all these things that really make Hozier's music feel very big. I feel like Hozier has always been very good about utilizing. It's kind of cool. At this point, I have listened to everything Hozier has put out, I think, and I've always loved his use of the gospel choir, of really big ambience and really big reverb. I like that his music feels so big. So that's the thing with me. You know, as much as I love appreciating lyrics, Hozier's somebody who I could just listen to sing anything. You want to grab a Ford Taurus manual and read it? I'm fucking here, dude. Like, you want to do it in a subway? I'm here for that too. And I think that is something to be said about what music can really do for you. So for me, I feel like when I'm getting lost in these instrumentals and they feel larger than life, I'm hearing these symphonies come together, all this string come together. Meanwhile, picking up on some of the little things that are happening in the instrumentals, like you may have this beautiful piano ballad that's kind of driving us, but then every once in a while there's this one note that's kind of off, or something that makes it feel off, and that's on purpose. It's supposed to set that mood. It's like when you're watching a horror movie and you hear that, the scary 3 keys being played and it sounds off. It's because it's a little bit disturbing. So I like that in a lot of these songs, even if it felt more upbeat or more of more of an up-tempo kind of song, more of a bigger vibe, I like that there was this darkness that was kind of like creeping in all these tracks. But I think the star of the show, and obviously the most important thing here to me, Hozier's vocals. I feel like vocally, he sends me to another planet whenever he takes these vocal runs, and he's not afraid to do it either. Like, he'll do a verse and, he has this really awesome delivery, and then he'll have this beautiful chorus, this massive thing with a ton of reverb, but then he'll utilize his voice in a bridge, in the back of the verse, in the back of the choruses, to really elevate with a ton of texture. The other thing I really love though is that while these instrumentals will play, he'll just use his voice as an instrument. And I love that he'll just take a note and just run with it, maybe take it up a couple octaves, maybe bring it down, doesn't matter. He fills the space so much. So there's this overwhelming presence of Hozier, and it's not just that he's 12 feet tall. You can actually feel his height in these songs because he just feels overpowering in this in such an amazing way. I think when you do this sort of like folk style that he does, it's got that bluegrassy kind of feel and stuff, but when you have that folk style, you really like, all eyes and ears are on that mouth. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is listening to what you're going to do. It's not always what you're going to say, but it's a lot of times how you're going to say it. I think that you could sing me a song in a different language and I might be able to tell you at least, well, no, I'll probably be able to tell you what the emotion of the song was, because you can feel that without needing to know the subject matter. And I think that Hozier utilizes that so much here. He's so good about just picking up a vibe of a song and matching it vocally and then having us just go on that journey with him. There were a couple tracks in here that I thought were really interesting because it was cool to hear him take that folk sound and that guitar driven sound, but then give it like at one point we heard like an 80s/90s pop rock moment. And I definitely love that style coming from him because it's cool to hear his take on music and what he wants to do with that folk sound. So I feel like Hozier is somebody that consistently puts out just this very anthemic cinematic music. And I will say that of all the records that I've listened to, this is definitely going to be the one that I'm going to have to listen to way more of. I think I really need the lyrical piece to it to be able to connect, because I love his other records and I feel like I understood those a little bit more. Whereas this one, I think a lot of it's just going to come down to spending some time in front of probably a video breaking it down for me. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think this is great and I really want to be able to appreciate just what went into the lyrical depth of this, because I feel like I'm not able to give it its due justice. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You guys can check out Patreon, links in the description. I have all of Hozier's albums, including this one. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.